Hey all, this is TCA Gaming. In this video I'm going to go over a Yu-Gi-Oh consignment, which is, something that we don't have a lot of, but I know there's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh fans here from the comments that I get. I'm going to go over the PWCC purchase that I finally got in. You can see some of that stuff there in the background. I wanted to put that back there just so that I didn't forget it because it was in a different weird location. But thanks also to all of you who have been helping out with the fundraiser for the mental health mental illness health and awareness that we're doing through Leonhardt's big fundraiser for NAMI. I've actually got some stuff that I want to do that I want you guys to talk about in the comments, make suggestions for. So what I'd like to do is like a little in-between milestones. Say right now we're at about $3,000, so if we get to say $3,500, and I'll put this on there, what do you guys think? Maybe like a pie to the face, I could do something like that, or I can eat a whole pie, or I don't know, dunk a Charizard, or climb a tree. I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of down for doing stuff like that as long as it doesn't really endanger me too much. But if you got any suggestions and you put that stuff down there, put those comments down in the description. If you guys see one that you like you see someone else's comment about a specific thing to do and you like it, give it a thumbs up. I'm going to take like the top 3 and then I might do all 3 of those, or I might take the top 10 and do like a poll or something like that. But go ahead, put in the comments, give it a thumbs up, a like for the comment for something that you see that you'd like to see me do, and then we'll kind of make those little milestones in between instead of just opening up Pokemon cards. Let's get creative with it. I think that'd be kind of cool. But anyways, let's get back to the video. So the first thing that I got here, this is a Zap Theme Deck. It's the original base theme deck. I think I put in a bid of like $150 or so. It come out to about, actually it was like $155, I think that was the price. So I mean, it does have part of the hanger tab there, but overall the box is in pretty good condition. It's a decent price. I mean, these are really old theme decks. I bid on a lot of the Charizard pack art covers. I didn't want to bid a ton on these things. This is the new style, so I like that. This one will probably have to get reholdered. But overall, I got these for pretty cheap, a couple $100 I think. Maybe even less on ones like that. Before I go into the rest of the PWC stuff, I did get a Raticate Skyridge Reverse Hollow In, and it says, "Dear Rusty, thanks for the purchase. Hope you enjoy. Really enjoy watching your YouTube. Keep up the awesome content, Mitch. P.S. I'm working on a Japanese Neo Destiny binder and can't find the rare unknown cards anywhere. Any idea where I could get them? My email is on the back. Thanks." The best place to look, I was going to say, would be Troll and Toad, but they're starting to discontinue a lot of the Japanese stuff. So for the Japanese singles, eBay still probably going to be your #1 bet. Just keep an eye out for them. You might even be able to pick up a complete set for pretty cheap. But thank you for the Raticate. You got it to me very quickly. It's another one off my list. For any of you who are wondering where my list is, it's always in the link tree, or you can send both the link tree link and a direct link to the Google Doc down in the description for all of my videos. So you can always look there, see what I'm still looking for. There's multiple tabs. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into the PWCC stuff that I bought. And we're going to start off with the sample cards, because again, every time I buy these, I tell you guys, I think they're, it's usually you can get them for a steal, because there was 100 of these put out, roughly half of them they say were destroyed, and they're really tough to come across. And usually the only way that I find them now are through auction. Every now and then you might see it by now, but I picked up several of them. This Hapip was only an 8. But I did win it. I actually put in too high of a bid on this, and it ended up getting ran up way higher than it should have, so that was a little weird. But anyways, I still won it, and for overall, I'm still happy with the price. Got a 10 on the Coughing. Well, I didn't grade these. Got a Ghastly that's graded 8, Rapidash 9. Another 10 on that Ghastly, 10 on the Machop, 10 on the Machamp. I was a bidder on the Pikachu, but I decided to let it go so I could go for a few of the other items. I picked up this right here. Got a Squirtle Charizard. This is the 1998 Bandai. Did pull the 10 on that one. I think I won the 9 as well, because I just kind of did like a backup bid of like $100 or something on it. And then ended up winning it. This is probably the most expensive card that I had. This is the DDS Blue Eyes. Won it for $10,000, which is right under what the last one sold in auction on eBay. Still waiting for that guy to pay, but he seems like he's going to come through from what he's saying. Next up, we have an 8 on this town map. Card S Vending 96 Bandai Charizard. You can see right there. I still want a 10. I'd love to. I mean, I didn't pick up a 9. This one has been pretty tough for me to find a 10 in. It's a pretty common card, but I think the centering issues is what throws this one off. Rarely ever get a 10. This is one that I won for really cheap. I just thrown it a bid because I was like, you know what? Just so that I have one, I went ahead and put in a bid on the Prism for $19.98. But I'm not sure how many 9s and 10s are out on this one, but I've got a few ungraded as well. But again, if you have a 9 or a 10, I'd rather have a 10, but I'm not looking to pay thousands of dollars for it either. A lot of these prices have come down. This is a Blue Eyes card that I had also just thrown in kind of like a low bid and ended up winning it, so I was happy to go ahead and pick it up and add it to the collection. Here we've got a Charizard phone card. This is one that's not graded by PSA, but I went ahead and picked it up, graded BGS. Next up we have another Obelisk the Tormentor. This is the ultra rare version. Pulled the 10. I like the artwork on this one. I thrown in like a 400, 500 bid, something like that. I can't remember what the final price was, but I ended up winning it, so I was happy with that price. Same thing on this Umbreon. I didn't bid, too high on it, and ended up doing pretty well. This is there's the Squirtle Charizard 9 I was telling you about, and then I've already got the 10 in this one, so this one's also just going to kind of be tucked back for now, but this is the Magmar versus Charizard 9. This one, I had looked at it incorrectly. I thought it said non-holo, but it was indeed the holo. I need the 2015 non-holo Charizard EX, not this one. So I think I've bought like 3 of these now. Next up, I want a Comex Mega Battle. Now, I know it just looks like a regular computer error, but if you look right here, this R, it's not red. It's got a white outline. So it is almost like a trophy prize. And even though there's not a trophy in it, but even at a 5, it was several $1,000s. So, but I was still happy with the purchase on that one. And then last, I got a Charizard Topps, which this one is the green label. So I added that one to my collection. Now let's jump into the consignment. This one right here is Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's BGS graded. Now I am going to talk with you guys about these first 12 or 13 cards because you can probably tell they're not in perfect condition. In fact, all of them have some kind of chip or crack in them. Like this first one right here, Blackluster Soldier. It's got a crack down there, and it was because of the way it was shipped to me. When the consignee sent it in the box, like this one was pretty bad. Like chipped the entire side off there. But when the consignee sent it to me, he just put it directly into a box. If you know what a Pokemon case looks like, it's long. It's like a 6-box case. He had basically stuck them in there like this, directly into the case, no protection, no padding. And so what happened was when it got to me, because it was so tight and there was no protection, a lot of the cases had been cracked open. So that's one thing that I want to talk to you guys about. A lot of you have been sending me consignments. Make sure you protect your investment. The guy who had sent this stuff, he'd spent over $100 on shipping, just the postage. But if he'd spent, you probably could have sent it regular priority, for $15 or so, and spent $2 on bubble wrap and mailers, and it protected a lot of the cards. So I just want to make sure you guys know when you send the stuff to me, make sure you protect your investment. If you look at this one right here, this is actually the gold letter Gaia the Dragon Champion, which is a misprint. It's supposed to be secret rare, so it's supposed to have silver letters. And it's not to say that when you ship something out, it shouldn't arrive, in good condition like it should have. However, you have to assume that the post office, whenever you give something to them, that they're going to take it and they're going to throw it into that vehicle, and then that person in the vehicle is going to throw it into an airplane or another truck and so forth. So if you can't safely take your package and throw it at least 6 feet, then you probably need to add some kind of other protection to it. Because a lot of times that's exactly what happens. If you guys have seen UPS workers and postal office workers, they have to move fast sometimes, and they just take literal, like, entire giant bins of boxes and they just dump them from one bin to another. And so, the weight from other boxes could damage them, just the fall could damage it. So you got to keep that kind of stuff in mind. Now, a lot of these BGS cards that he sent, they're pretty iconic stuff. Now, none of it's like super high end either. You guys know how tough it is to get a BGS 10. And for that same reason, it's kind of hard to do like the same type of pricing you can with PSA, because not as many people grade through them. So there's not as much of a standard. This is one of my favorite cards, the Harpy's Pet Dragon from Forbidden Memories. remember getting a Summon Skull 10. Yugioh. That one played correctly can really damage a deck. So those first 12 or 13, they all had some kind of crack in the sides or something, but the cards themselves were in untouched condition. BGS cases are pretty tough. So like even if you crack the sides and the edges, and in the case of that Slifer, take out an entire chunk of the card, usually it never even makes it to the card. It's pretty tough. If you guys have watched some of my videos where I've cracked out a PSA card and done the same thing with BGS card, it's doable both for both of them, but it takes a whole lot longer with the BGS. Now we're getting to a little bit higher grades here. We're up to 8.5s. I don't have much experience with Yu-Gi-Oh on the BGS side, so I'm not sure how tough they are. I know on the back side with like Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh, it's a lot easier to get by with some edge wear and stuff on the back side. But then again, with the corners, they're a lot easier to nick and to bend. So it's the edge wear that kind of sticks out with Pokemon. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh, it's more the back surface because it's almost like it's got a glossy finish, and then the corners. Pokemon doesn't really have that same kind of glossy finish on the back. The Winged Dragon of Ra, and then Toon Mermaid. We glazed right over this one, but Imperial Order was one of my favorite cards to play in a deck because you only had to pay that 700 life points during your standby phase, so you could get rid of it during your first standby phase. It was just like an instant. Your opponent can't play any magic cards for an entire turn, and so really the only thing that would overturn something like that would be a 7 tools or something like that will stop a trap card. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff is a little bit out of the norm, but again, make a comment down here in the description on what you would like me to add in for like little mini milestones along the way for this Nami fundraiser. You want me to take a pie to the face or eat an entire pie? What do I say? Dunk a Charizard card or something like that. I mean, it could be weird, long as it's not inappropriate. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to run around naked somewhere or do something like that. But you guys just put a comment down there, or if you see a comment that you like that's a really good suggestion and you want that to be the one, then give it a little check mark or a little thumbs up, and then whatever gets in the top 3, or I'll decide something like that. If it's in the top 3, it'll definitely be a contender, and we'll see if we can get to it. Thanks.